Today we are going to talk about the animals on your planet. What are animals? Many ask themselves, why are there so many animals on the surface of your planet? Of the most varied breeds, types, sizes, colors. Yes, God had a lot of work. Those who created each of these animals had a lot of imagination, and everything was done for the most beautiful balance, that is, you have the strongest and the weakest at the end. Normally, those that are, the so-called weakest, which are the smallest, reproduce at an accelerated rate. As the chain goes up, reproduction becomes slower and takes longer. As you usually call it the food chain, that's exactly it, so that there is balance. This is how it was thought and this is how it was done. Then you might think, but why so many? Think about this, think about the size of your planet. Imagine there was only one animal, let's put it that way, of each size within the chain. And the larger one would feed on the smaller one, and so on, until it reached the last one. It would be very monotonous, wouldn't it? You look at your forests and always see the same animals. What a dull thing! So, God, in His infinite wisdom and perfection, created many with the same function, and each one dominating a piece of your planet, so that as you move, you see new things and don't know which one is the most beautiful. Everything exists in balance. Then the man came. All animals, even those you can't stand when you enter the forests, lived in balance. With the arrival of man, everything changed. That tree that was once home to many small animals is no longer there, so all those little animals had to move and went to another tree. Of course, the other tree couldn't handle it, because there were too many people eating in the same place. This is a very simplistic way of explaining to you what pests are. The insects that eat your crops are insects that have nothing more to eat than they used to eat. They took away their food. So they come where there is. They attack your crops. What has been done lately with balanced agriculture, certain types of plants are placed between crops so that insects stay there and don't attack. See the balance coming back together. They have something to eat. Why would they attack each other if they have exactly what they like to eat? And so, my brothers, the great imbalance came. Man destroyed the forests. Then the animals change places. Today we have animals invading cities, breaking into houses, attacking humans, of course, because their homes were invaded, they have no more space. Added to this, for a long time we had, and still do, hunters who felt they had the right to display trophies of the animals they hunted. So what happened to many animals? Some breeds became extinct because they were hunted too much, or those that remained were eliminated by the food chain itself. This is the situation you have today, my brothers, a planet completely unbalanced in relation to animals. Many attack humans, as they see in them those who took away their tranquility, their habitat. You almost don't hear about it, because you live in big cities. But among the people closest to the forests, many humans are being killed, first by the invasion of the animals' lands, and second by the imbalance of the predator, of these same animals. Each animal lives in balance because it has a predator. At the same time, he is a predator, but there is someone who is his predator. If there are few predators, those below begin to reproduce indiscriminately. And then everything gets out of control. My brothers, everything on the planet is balance. Everything is balance. But humans, you humans, have broken this balance, in all kingdoms, whether on earth, in the heavens, or in the seas, with so much trash that you threw. Today you see animals dying with a lot of garbage inside them. You have no idea how dirty the bottom of your oceans are. You only see the surface. If you could see the bottom, you would be horrified. Now let's talk about another class of animals, those that allow themselves to be domesticated. Each human, each family, who approaches an animal, who takes it to raise, creates a link of light with that animal. A bond of love. It's as if he became, energetically speaking, part of your family. For us, this is how we see you, as part of your family, because you brought them into your homes, to give them love, care, affection, food, everything as if you were a member of the family. So he's part of the family. Domestic animals often come close to you to calm you, to keep you company, to bring joy. And many, the vast majority of you, recognize this, and treat them exactly like family. They suffer when they lose them. They are sad, because they feel as if they were someone of blood who has left. This for us, my brothers, is beautiful. When this happens, a whole legion of angels and beings of light applaud you, because it is the purest demonstration of love that you can give for a living being, who does not speak, but who understands you better than anyone else. So, let's talk now about another side, those who think that domestic animals are to be trained to attack, to fight, to hate. In the vast majority of these cases, animals are a reflection of their owners. Often their owners are so cowardly, and as they cannot do things because they are afraid, they encourage the animals to do them. These we turn our backs on, because no animal was meant to be treated that way. You can train your animal to warn you of danger, but not to attack. That animal doesn't have this nature. Let's understand it this way: there are human beings who are more prone to violence than others, likewise the animals. There are some breeds that, if trained, are more predisposed to being violent than others. But that doesn't mean he was born with that nature, he has to be trained to be violent. So this comes from men. Every human being who acts like this emanates the violence that is in their heart, and he will only get that back. Never the love of this animal, never the protection he thinks he has, because this animal, this same animal that he once trained to attack another, will be able to attack him, because this animal has no love for anyone. He doesn't even recognize the one who trains him, that feeds him. For him, he is just one of those many that he has to attack. There is another group. Those who think that animals are there to be mistreated and treated like animals, as they say. These are people who, for the most part, don't have love in their hearts. They think that there is just a piece of meat moving. Is nothing. If there is food, I will give it. If there's water, I'll give it. If you don't have it, you have nothing. That's how they think. So I ask, why take the animal? For what? Let him live, even if he is released into the streets, because there at least he will have a destiny, perhaps a little better. You mistreat, they beat, when they get sick, throw it away. It's nothing, right? Then I can throw it away. It's rubbish. As I said, they think it's just something that walks. It is not a living being, it is an error of nature. Then I can throw it away. It's rubbish. Which, my brothers? Remember, I told you that when you pick up an animal you create a connection of light with them. Well, even if when you pick up that animal you don't have love for it, take just for the sake of taking, you have already created a connection with him. And by throwing him away, by mistreating him, you are doing this to someone in your family. And I can say that the consequences of this are not good, because you will reap what you are sowing. Don't think that because he is just something that walks, you won't have the consequences of your actions, quite the opposite, because these animals, they came for this purpose. So every mistreatment you do, this love that is within him is hurt, and this has a very big consequence. Many will say, "Ah, this is nonsense, it's just an animal." No, my brothers, he is not just an animal, he is a divine creation with a purpose, in fact with many purposes, the vast majority of which are to bring only good things. It is in your hands, my brothers, what you will do now. Every day I have given you some things to make you think. This is one of them. Review within your hearts, what feelings do you have for the animals in your home? What is the feeling? How cute is that little bird trapped in the cage? He is singing. Is he happy? No, he's singing his pain, his arrest. You don't understand what he sings, but he sings to the heavens, begging for his freedom. Animals that are mistreated in circuses, who are whipped to do what their owners want. For what? So that money comes in at the expense of the animal's suffering? What a great way to make money! Some zoos confine animals in tiny cells, only for humans to watch them. What an absurd thing! It's my brothers, you have a lot to learn. You, within the chain of living beings on the planet, are the beings with the highest mental capacity, but they are as animals as the others. You were endowed with intelligence and rationality, but you forget that everyone else has the same rights as you, that you do not own this planet. Stop and think, my brothers. How do you see animals? The world is changing. Everything is changing. What do you think will become of animals in the new world? I guarantee you the following: they will once again have the balance they once had on this planet, and woe betide you who do anything against them. I am Archangel Michael. I'm bringing a lot of stuff for you to think about, for you to change your thoughts, your ideas, their ways of acting. We still have a little time, not much, but we have it. So do a mea culpa, and see where you can change in relation to this issue.